So it's Celiac Awareness Month, so the queen of gluten-free cooking, Becky Excell, is here with something extra special for us. I mean, as soon as you put those ingredients in front of me, Becky, I must start salivating.
I mean, it smells great, doesn't it?
It really does.
Smell there's some chocolate on the go. So yeah, as I said earlier, I am making a gluten-free chocolate donut. It's not a donut, it's just the shape is like a donut. Celebration cake, but it's a cake that you could have whenever you want. And like I said earlier as well, inclusive. That's what we need. Gluten-free people, just because you have to follow a gluten-free diet doesn't mean that you should just be like, just give that person a banana.
No.
Everyone should be able to eat the same thing, and it's easy.
Yeah, especially with play dates and things like that, when the kids come over and things. It's great to have something that everybody can eat.
School, you know,
for sure.
It's so important. So, and this is a really simple one that anyone could do. I mean, you could do it.
Even me.
You could do it.
Okay.
You could.
Okay.
So firstly, we've already creamed some of the butter and the sugar together because we don't want too much loud mixing. So that's that. But all these ingredients, we're just going to put in together. So we've got some gluten-free self-raising flour here. So that's something you can easily get in the supermarkets. It's really accessible these days. We've got some ground almonds. We've got cocoa powder. We've got some gluten-free baking powder. They were weighed out, you know.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
Exactly. See how good you are now.
But yeah, as I said, it's Celiac Awareness Month.
Yes.
So, you know, celiac disease is actually a really serious autoimmune condition. It's something where if people who have it, if they consume gluten, the body attacks itself. So it's a really serious thing. And so many people don't even realise that they have it. So 1 in 100 people in the UK have celiac disease, but only 36% of people actually know that they have it.
Is it that different?
Yeah, so basically, Celiac UK, the main charity for this, is trying to find those 64% of people this month so that they can get diagnosed.
How are they doing that?
So we're sort of raising awareness. So that there was some xanthan gum. So that's a really important ingredient that helps to keep cakes from being crumbly when they're gluten-free. And then we've got some eggs here. So basically, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to emphasise, you know, raise awareness in terms of symptoms. So symptoms aren't just gut-related. People think of gluten-free and they think, oh, bloating,
bad stomach,
But it can be like recurrent miscarriage. It can be neurological things. It can be, there's so many different things, extreme fatigue.
Really?
Tons of things that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Which I guess is what makes it so hard to identify
and also saying that, some people don't have any symptoms.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's a really tricky thing.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
So you can be celiac without any symptoms?
Any symptoms at all, and people don't realise that.
So how would that manifest itself being celiac then, if you don't have any symptoms?
If you don't, well, the thing is that it's not just about the symptoms, it's about, you can have long-term complications if you eat gluten.
Right,
So you could have osteoporosis if you keep eating gluten and have it. Even cancers.
Goodness.
So, you know, it's
definitely worth knowing.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see how this goes. Goodness gracious, I think we should probably stay on that.
Give it some welly.
So basically, we're just going to mix this all together.
No fear.
You're all over that.
There we go. But yeah, Celiac UK actually have like a free self-assessment thing on their website.
Oh, great.
So you can go on there. You can, if you think you've got the symptoms, you can go on there and they'll sort of sort something out that you can send to your doctor. So you can take it into the doctor with you. And then...
And what do you do, a swab test, or what do you do?
So what you do is you go in, you do a blood test.
Yep.
And the blood test will sort of give you that first thing, but sometimes they aren't always positive.
Doesn't show up.
So the main thing that they'll do is then they'll do an endoscopy, so down the throat, which isn't nice.
No.
And the most important thing is that at the same time, you have to be eating gluten. So if you think that gluten is a problem, you'd probably be like, oh, I want to remove that from my diet because it's making me feel poorly.
Yeah.
But you mustn't do that. You have to keep eating gluten for at least 6 weeks, every single day, even if it's making you feel poorly.
For the doctor to then identify?
Yeah, to get an accurate test result. So it's really, really annoying.
Yeah,
you know, it's a frustrating thing for people. Right, so I mix it all together.
Yep.
You can see what I was doing. So, and now it looks a lot nicer because if you were mixing that, once you mixed it all, you get all the chocolate in there and stuff. Yep. So then I'm going to add in some chocolate chips.
Delicious.
A few less than we're supposed to be in there, so we'll accept
I know, but it's fine. Put that in, fold them in, and then we'll have a really delicious cake that anyone could enjoy. And that's the most important thing with this. And I think, like, it's not just about the ingredients. So the ingredients obviously need to be gluten-free. But if, let's say, when we cut the cake later, that knife had touched some gluten, the whole cake, all that hard work we've done making a gluten-free cake
would be ruined.
Yeah, because just literally, it's called cross-contamination.
Wow.
And literally just a single crumb can do damage.
OK.
So,
just be super careful with it then.
So what we would do, we put this into here. And
Have you buttered that beforehand?
Yes, yeah. So basically with this, you need to butter it. You can use something like a cake release.
Yes.
Or you can just use butter and a little bit of flour.
Yes.
Put that all in because you don't want it to stick.
No.
You can also use a loaf tin, or you can make this in a cupcake tin because some people don't want to use this because it's like you're scared that it's all gonna come out. Yeah,
that would always be my fear with that.
So we would put that all in, put it into the oven for 50 minutes or so at 160, and then this is what we would have.
Ta-da!
But what we need is some icing. So the icing is a really, really simple thing to do. So here I've melted some chocolate and butter together.
Yes.
Just going to add in some icing sugar.
Nice.
Add it very gradually, or kind of gradually. And if we can, let's do it with this, actually. And then it just comes together really, really well, and it'll come together in a really glossy way. So, and what you want to do is it will get a bit thick, so you add a little bit of boiling water as you go.
Just to keep it at the right consistency.
Yeah. But what I've got one I made earlier.
Very nice.
Because this is live TV, and I'm not a pro like you guys.
Certainly not a pro in the kitchen.
That's very loose label there. But thank you.
But yeah, so then we would just put it all over here.
Yeah.
And then we can do some sort of sprinkling.
Artistic drizzling.
You know, I'm terrible at this. I'm just a home cook who likes to cook.
At this stage, I'd be far more interested in tasting it than actually making it.
Licking it bowl, essentially.
I mean, you can do a few sprinkles. Make sure the sprinkles are gluten-free.
Yes.
And then we have got a cake. Let's just get on with it. This is what you want, isn't it? You don't want that.
The crew are just thinking we've got at least 2 cakes to consume now. This is good news.
Everyone's been very happy with me this morning when I've come in.
They have.
So let me just put this on the plate.
Lovely.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
There we go.
That looks amazing.
Couple of forks there.
Lovely.
You can enjoy it. And, you know, the whole thing is that this cake, you know, I used a gluten-free. This hasn't touched anything else, so it's completely gluten-free.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for in restaurants, bakeries and stuff. Everything needs to be separate when it's gluten-free. So that, and gluten-free tastes great, right?
The texture is great.
Yeah.
I'm really
I always
chocolatey.
expect it to be slightly different texture-wise, but it's
not.
brilliant.
It's the same, and everyone can enjoy it together, which is all we want.
Thank you, Becky. They're absolutely delicious. For the details of Becky's chocolate cake recipe,
thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.